Got some more stuff for you, so let's get into it. I got a fresh stack of 70s Calbies in. One of them is a Sadaharu O stack, and then the other one is a kind of little mini stack that's miscellaneous. So let's get into the miscellaneous stack. Here's a 73 Calbee of Hajime Kato, pitcher for the Lions, who were at that time the Taiheiyo Club Lions. And Taiheiyo Club is basically a golf course. It's like a country club. And so for a pretty short time, the Lions were, for a long time, they were the Nishitetsu Lions. They were owned by a railway company, but then they were basically sold to a country club, or the country club got naming rights, paid for naming rights or something like that. So they were the Taiheiyo Club Lions for a couple of years. And they wore these uniforms, and then during this short-lived period of a couple of years, but they also experimented with. So they had these like blue and white and red. They look pretty normal, right? Here's another one, or no, here's not another one. But then they also experimented with these really funky unis that were like pink. So you can kind of see Taiheiyo on the front, but these were pink and white and blue. And then they also wore these that basically look like football jerseys. Check this out. This is crazy. So this is during the Taiheiyo Club period that only lasted a couple few years. And then after that, they were actually sold to a lighter company, like a company that makes lighters, called Crown Lighters. And they became the Crown Lighter Lions. And this is actually probably the shortest lived and most obscure period of Lions history, because after that they became the Cebu Lions, and they've been the Cebu Lions with more or less the same look. Well, not exactly, but kind of, for 50 years or more. But I do have one card of a Lions player, and this is a little bit of a digression, pardon me, but I do have one card of a Lions player during the Crown Lighter era, mini era of a couple of years. So here's one of Masashi Takenouchi, and this is a pretty scarce Nippon Ham sausage card, and he is wearing the Crown Lighter Lions red and white unis. So they kind of looked like the Hiroshima Carp. I'm sure I'm probably not the only person who to ever say that. Um, so they were the Crown Lighter Lions for a couple years, and then they changed to Cebu, and they've been that ever since. But yeah, there are actually, I checked, there's no Calby cards of Lions players wearing Crown Lighter Lions uniforms. But they did there are a few Calby cards. I don't have any of them, but they do reflect the change in name. So if you flipped it on the back, they kind of edited this Lions pennant to say Crown Lighter on it. I wish I had an example, a real example to illustrate. But then if you actually check the front of the card, the player on, I think it's 4 or 5 cards ever with Crown Lighter Lions, but they're wearing Taiheiyo Club Lions era uniforms. They just basically used old pictures. So for the big brand, for Calby, there are no Crown Lighter Lions cards from this very fleeting era. But it's cool to have this one, a pretty rare card from like I said, fleeting era. So it's kind of an interesting one there. All right, but let's get back to the regularly scheduled programming. So I got this 74, and this one is actually good for my 74 Series 1 run. So I'm collecting all of 74 Series 1. This is Masahiro Nakane. Masahiro Nakane. Uh, and Masahiro Nakane was actually a two-way player, believe it or not. So the first few years he was in pro baseball, he dabbled as a two-way player, pitched, hit, did it all. He's also notable for his pretty immense size, especially for his era. Nakane was about 6'4". So, I mean, that's pretty big dude now, but I mean, he was an absolute giant in his day. Definitely for a Japanese and in the 70s. I'm sure this guy was by far the tallest player in the Japanese leagues for a while there. So this is great. This one's in great condition, man. That back is almost immaculate. So glad to check another one off my 74 Series 1 run. And then I got another 74 of Shigeo Nagashima. Cool picture, not great photography. The more Calbys you look at, it's kind of like I would say Calbys are usually, whether it's the pictures or they're either awesome or kind of crappy. Like there's a lot of Calby slop, especially when you get into like 75, 76. Like there's a lot of kind of dark, poorly photographed, dark stadium photos of sort of random shots and things like this. This is a great shot. It's just sort of kind of illustrating the photography getting kind of a poorer quality. Um, but then again, like I said, but they're also either really, really awesome. Like the 73s are all really, really beautiful cards and stuff like that. So it's interesting. Yeah, Calby doesn't really do mid. It's like it's either this is kind of ugly or picture or man, this is awesome. This one's cool and I love it because it's miscut. So this is Ritsuo Yamashita, pitcher for the Whales. Whales, another uni comment. The Whales wore these orange and green unis for a while. Not my favorite. Um, Clean back. Like I said, this one, if you notice over here, it's miscut, which I think is cool. I could maybe, I don't know. Maybe I could figure out what card that is there, but probably not. Okay, so then let's get into the O's. We'll start. I think I put these in chronological order. So here's a 73. This is number 143. And it's a dark interior stadium shot that's actually great. Check this picture out. Awesome shot there. Like I said, man, Calby, they don't do mid. They're either awesome or they're pretty not awesome on the front. Check that out. Little bit of paper loss on the back there, which I usually hate, but yeah, it's all right. It was cheap and, nice corners, nice edges, and all the other good stuff. Here's a 74-0. Great shot. Bonus, the catcher there is Koichi Tabuchi for the Tigers, another Hall of Famer. Nice one here. This is also a 74. And super, super stoked. Saw it in the pile when it came up and I got excited again because like, oh yeah, I have it finally. I finally got the 74 Calby number 416. and I have wanted this card for quite a while. I believe, I want to say in terms of YouTubers, I think Picker Jim has one of these too, if I'm not mistaken, man. Check this beauty out. So we've got Sadaharu there taking a hack, and Shigeo Nagashima waiting in the on deck circle. What an awesome, awesome piece of photography. Just a great card. I'll just let you gaze at this butte for a while. Back is pretty grubby, but who cares? I actually sometimes with the Kellys, I mean, I definitely love the pristine backs, but like I like sometimes when some of the backs are beat because then when you contrast them with the real nice backs, it really just like makes the nice backs look even nicer by comparison. Um, Here is a probably a 75 Sadaharu O. No, I'm sorry, this is a 76. It even says it down there. And a real cool one here. This one is a 77. One of the grayback 77s. And this is kind of I have a couple other cards in this series. It's like the Path to Stardom series where they show pros and then like a picture of them from back in the day. And here's one of Sadaharu O, and on the right, that is him back in the day at Waseda Jitsugyo High School. And O, if you didn't know, during his high school days, he's shown with a bat there, but he was originally and primarily an ace pitcher. He even threw a no hitter at Koshien, the great annual national high school baseball tournament. Just a great card there. And this one, I would think I was fortunate. I only got it for a few bucks. So, and I got another. This is another awesome 77. Oh, check this out. I love this. It's just super clean. No text on the front, just a picture. And I like these blue back 77s. I think it's just a really pleasant shade of blue. I really like the blue on the back, um, and this is a great picture there. So then that'll do it for the Calbies. I also got recently I picked up, a few packs of the new BBM Sumo product. So BBM releases two Sumo products a year. I usually like the second one they release better. The first one they release usually has it's well, not I don't know what I'm saying, but it has the top two divisions, so it includes Makuchi and Juryo, which is like the second division, and it's basically just action shots. But I like the second product they release because it has these more classic looking sumo cards with the rikishi or the wrestler just sort of standing. And it's like just a very classic look, so I like it a lot. This is what the pack looks like. So the theme or the title this year is Sato. Sato is like hometown or where you're from. So the gimmick with these, well, I don't know, gimmick's kind of hard, but the gimmick with these is that it emphasizes the wrestlers' hometowns or where they're from. So, for example, let's take a look at a couple of the cards. I was lucky I got both of the Yokozuna. So I got Ono Sato and Hoshoryu, the two Yokozuna. And you can see the text in the back is actually where they're from, going with the theme. So that's kind of a little touch on this year's cards that they don't usually have. So if the wrestler is from Japan, which is most of them, they'll put their prefecture or kind of state in Japan. So Onosato is from Ishikawa, so it's written up there. But if they're international, if they're from a foreign wrestler, they'll put the country, so it says Mongolia for Hoshoryu. And these are, as usual with this set, they're color coded based on rank. So you saw the Yokozuna were purple. Most of the wrestlers who are Mayagashira, who are the rank and file, lower ranked wrestlers in the top division though, are pink. And then they have for Komusubi and Sekiwake are green. And then I don't have any Ozeki cards. I think there would be two Ozeki, and I think the Ozeki are yellow maybe or orange. So I'll probably get a few more packs. Hopefully I get one of the I think two Ozeki. At least at the time of this video or the time that the set was released. So all right guys, as always, thanks for watching. Peace.